I saw that Jake Lang, who is starting a movement specifically targeting the Islamification of America, the spread of Islam, because he is hyper concerned, along with many Americans, that as Islam grows, so too do the restrictions on the First Amendment. And if the First Amendment falls, the West falls. The reason Europe isn't Europe anymore is because the people lost their ability to say what is happening. The First Amendment. The reason Europe isn't Europe anymore is because they lost the ability to speak the truth. The First Amendment. We know from historical records that if a place becomes more Islam, if a place becomes more Muslim, if a place like a nation or a city or a region where government is in place becomes more Muslim, the chances of freedom of speech go down. This is what we know. The Muslims that are out there, if you are out there and you practice Islam, if you are a Muslim and you actually give a fuck about the First Amendment, if you are a Muslim and you actually care about freedom of speech, if you are a Muslim and you understand that freedom of speech is the very thing that allows for freedom, then you are one of the good people. You're a friend. You're an ally. But if you are a Muslim and you do not understand that the foundation for the religion of Islam is against freedom of speech, then you are the enemy. Let me say that again in simpler terms. If you are a Muslim and you don't recognize that there are some conflicting doctrines in your religion with freedom of speech, then you are the enemy. If you do recognize that there are conflicting doctrines within Islam with the freedom of speech, then you are a friend. You are not an enemy. Do you understand? This is life or death. We didn't fight for America, my ancestors. We didn't fight for America so that we could be democratically elected into controlled thought. We created America so that we could fight to the death and defend the freest thing that exists on this planet. When I was at the march today, the rally, I saw that there were some kind of extremist things. Like, for example, there were some people that were saying, deport all Muslims. Now, that's a little bit extreme if you ask me. There's no need to deport all Muslims. That doesn't make any sense. There are good Muslims out there. There are Muslims out there that understand that freedom of speech should supersede any extreme doctrines within a religion, even their own. I've personally met Muslims that know, that openly acknowledge, yes, my religion of Islam has extreme principles and extreme tenets that I do not take seriously and that I think should be disavowed and ignored. Okay, those are the good Muslims. Those are the good ones. The bad Muslims and the ones that are threats to America are the Muslims that they turn a blind eye towards the idea of killing apostates. They turn a blind eye towards the idea of completely discriminating against those who do not think Allah is the only God. Okay? There are doctrines. You can look this up with AI. You don't need me to tell you. There are doctrines within Islam that say our goal is to deceive others so that we may control and eradicate them. You can look that up for yourself using AI. You don't have to trust me. So, just like all religions, it's not just Islam, okay? Islam is not the problem. The problem is if we have people who adopt ideas without placing foundational rights like the freedom of speech before those ideas, then those ideas will get warped and will lead people to do things that are not only anti-American, but which lead to evil. Okay? So if people are not starting from the foundation of our rights, the freedom of speech and others, then nothing else matters, and those people are now our enemies. But if we have 1 million Muslims that understand that freedom of speech is more important than any religious doctrine, those Muslims are our friends. The ones that don't are our enemies.